How do you stay on top of house chores with 2 littles? How did you stop breastfeeding? Do you ever regret moving so far away from both families? Is the Jess and Gabe channel on a break? Hello and welcome to Girls Night. I have the house to myself tonight and I thought it would be fun to have a little girls night and answer some questions and kind of just spend the night with you guys. So I just screenshotted a bunch of questions from my Instagram, grab a drink and a snack and have a little girls night. I will start off with a mum life question. This is mum life of 2, their personalities, how is it going? So my kids are now 3 and 1. It is awesome. I feel like we are in a very good and fun place right now. Our 3-year-old Kaya she is amazing. Her personality is incredibly loving and fun. She is very caring. She's an amazing big sister. She's very clever, very observant. She definitely picks up on very small details, which Gabe is exactly like that. She is incredibly helpful. She wants to help anyone she can, whether it's like helping me with the dishwasher or if I ask like Gabe for something, she'll be like, oh, I can go get it. Oh, she is so sweet. Also, playtime with her is so much fun because she's in a princess phase and she loves dressing up every day, loves playing stores. We got her like a little cash register for her birthday. So playtime is really fun with her, and as both of them have gotten older, it's only gotten more fun. But I have this feeling that 3, like this age that we're at with her, is going to be my favorite. And our 1-year-old, Cuba, is definitely like getting more and more fun as he's getting more active. Now he's walking around everywhere and like copying a lot of our words. Loves eating food. His personality is cheeky and fearless, but also loving, and just like you can see the love that he has for us. When Gabe walks in the room and he just like lights up and goes, Daddy. He is so much fun too. And the best part is that they are starting to play really well together, which is like the thing that everyone told me about with having a second and having siblings, that they would play really well together. They laugh so much together and they're having a lot of fun. Being a year postpartum, I feel really good. I feel like pretty much normal in my body. I feel like that took a really long time. This second time around, just months and months and months, just felt very cloudy and blurry and sleepy. I really love the stage that we're at right now. I remember loving when Kaya turned 1 too. Like everything just got so much fun. Sleep is good, naps are good. We're in a really good routine with all of that. They are such sweet kids and yeah, I just love them so much. I just love being their mom. I'm just gonna quickly clean the playroom. This one is, how do you stay on top of house chores with 2 littles? I feel like it's never ending. If anyone else has figured it out, I'd love to know. I feel like I have a good routine in place in terms of like everything that Gabe and I have to do in the house, and splitting it across a week. For example, I basically have a laundry a day. Yeah, so the kids are on one day, I'm on another day, then Gabe's on another day, and then like sheets and towels is on another day. Sometimes it's hard to stick to that and like you need to do extra loads for stuff that kids have spilt and you know, whatever it is. I heard this advice from someone for if you're like a stay-at-home mom, or even if for a married couple or whatever like your situation is, to brain dump all of your responsibilities onto a piece of paper, whether it's taking out the trash, feeding the dog, checking the mail, breaking down boxes, laundry, vacuuming the floor, like anything that you can think of like that, to brain dump it all on a piece of paper. And then once all of that is down, split it up into either a 1-week schedule or a 2-week schedule. So if you have a 2-week schedule, you would be following like an A-B schedule. So you could split everything up across 2 weeks and you would just like know on your calendar if it's an A week or a B week. That really helped me to just kind of break everything up across a lot of days. Even if it's like, okay, Mondays, I'm gonna wipe down every bathroom counter. Tuesdays, I'm gonna vacuum. Wednesdays, you know, if you break up cleaning that way too. Something that I want to try to implement is, and like actually do it, is completely reset the house every single night once the kids have gone to sleep. And we mostly do it, like we always do the dishes, we clean the toy room. I want to try to be very strict with it, like the random piles that can start to pile up, like I want to put those things away every single night to try to avoid a big pile up of stuff. Kaya is definitely at an age where she puts her shoes away and like she's able to put stuff away too. I always say we pack up what we play with. We pack up what we play with, and just trying to like show her like, okay, when we're finished playing with the magnet tiles, let's put them all back in the basket because we pack up what we play with. I have a feeling if I can stick to actually put everything away, like fully reset your house every night, I feel like our house would stay a lot cleaner. Whenever one of us is cleaning in here and like one of the toys goes off, whereas like if you wanted to play in here, you could just ask. Done. It wouldn't be a girls' night without some snacks. I'm gonna see what I can get on DoorDash. I love DoorDash. They are sponsoring this video, which is just very crazy. We host dinners at our house every single week and we always use DoorDash to deliver our food. DoorDash has something called Dash Pass, which is their membership. It gets you $0 delivery fees and lower service fees. So whether we are ordering dinner, or you can order flowers, or you can order stuff from a pharmacy, which is so good if you're in a pinch, especially with kids. Whatever it may be, just living in this time where we can get things delivered to our door is very, very convenient. And with Dash Pass, members on average save $5 per order. So on average, it pays for itself within 2 orders. So if you haven't tried it yet and you'd like to, they have a 30-day free trial. I'll leave all the terms and conditions down below. I also have a promo code and a great offer. It's Jess Conte 50 and it'll give you 50% off your first order of $15 or more. So that'll be up to $10 off. Thank you, DoorDash. I'm going to order some ice cream for our girls' night. I mean, they have so much on here. They do have like my favorite ice cream. All right, that'll get here in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna make a cup of tea. What are some of your favorite couples hobbies as parents of 2? I will answer this as hobbies that we have together, like time that we're hanging out. We love to play games. We are a huge games people. One of our favorite things to do together and with friends is have a games night. I feel like that is probably our #1 hobby that we have. Sit us down with a tea and coffee and bananagrams and we are having a good night. Our friends just introduced us to Skip-Bo, which I've heard of Skip-Bo like all my life. I'm so surprised I haven't played it earlier because it's such a good game. We have always loved singing together. It's more rare that it will happen these days, but we always love to do that. We love to play video games. I wouldn't say we do that very often. Gabe more so would like have game nights with his guy friends. I do love playing video games with him, like Mario Kart or Hole.io, I think it's called, but I always call it Holio. He was just trying to teach me Smash Bros the other day. That was really fun. It was definitely like, I did not realize how intricate and complicated it actually is. I have a lot of respect for his like guy game nights now because they're all just like crushing it on the controller. I don't know, there's so much to think about with that game, but that was really fun. A game that I played growing up that I love is called Burnout Paradise. When my dad was in town recently, we got it on our PlayStation, and so that was really fun playing that together. We also love just like going to a cute coffee shop and grabbing a coffee. All right, tea is ready. I got my ice cream. That looks so good. Do you smell my ice cream? Do you have any help with cleaning or looking after kids? We have someone that comes and cleans every 2 weeks. That is so helpful. Like cleans the showers, cleans the floors. When we just had Kaya, we had a nanny because I was definitely working way more full-time back then. She was amazing, like seriously became like part of the family. I love her so much. She is so special to me and Kaya. She ended up leaving the week I had Cuba. I cried and cried and cried. It was definitely like postpartum hormones and I was so emotional about her leaving, and my mum was here and she would come over, our nanny, and I would just be like bawling in my room being like, I can't see her, I'm so sad. I was just like, she really became like family to me. I think also like she was in our home every single day. Well, not every single day, but you know, she was in our home a lot, looked after Kaya a lot so we could get work done. I was just so grateful for her help and what a positive influence she was on Kaya. Ever since she started, and she knows this and like we've talked about it, I just had such a desire to be like full-time with my kids. This type of job can very much be full-time. It's very much like however much you can put into it. Like you can technically post every day, you know, people post on TikTok multiple times a day. The amount of brands you work with is totally up to you. Like you could work with a brand a week or however much. You get to choose your hours, which is a huge blessing. But for us, that was both of us working full time. Now, like my day to day is with the kids, and then I will get work done either in nap time or bedtime, like after bedtime. We do have a lovely assistant. She works a few hours a week for us. I love both sides of it. I really love working. I love doing well at a job. So I'm like not against that at all. My parents like to come visit a few times a year and they'll usually stay for a few weeks at a time. Whenever they come, it's when I try to work as much as I can while also at the same time trying to spend a lot of time with them. They just want to help as much as possible when they're here. I'm very aware of how fast this time is going, and when I was having Cuba, Kaya was already 2. Those 2 years flew so quickly and I just wanted to slow it down, and I obviously can't slow it down, but just in a very like fortunate situation where I'm able to like step back when I need to step back in terms of like how much work I do. It's definitely like a conviction I have, I guess, as a parent, is to be as present as I can. I hate if I'm need to be on my phone for some reason while I'm like in the playroom or something, and then they do something and I look up and I can see that they're looking at me while I'm on my phone. So I usually have a rule of like, I don't usually go on social media in front of them. Being on my phone in front of them is usually like if I have to answer a phone call, if I have to do something. But I'll usually wait until nap time or after bedtime, or like if they're doing something not with me, then I can like quickly do something on my phone. But why did I start talking about that? A lot of people have to work and like don't get that choice of being able to stay home, and so I'm just very grateful that I am able to kind of do both when I can. Being a parent just emotionally takes me on such a roller coaster because it's the best, but also the time aspect of it and watching them grow and become something, a new version of themselves, and then like not getting the younger version of themselves, like not being able to see that ever again. Gabe for me is pretty much the same Gabe that I met, you know, with siblings and parents, like they get older too, but they're still like the same person that you know. Whereas with kids, it's like, I'm not gonna get, if I talk about this too much, I will cry. So now our daughter is in a big girl bed and the day she upgraded to her big girl bed, I like really struggle to talk about this stuff. The day she upgraded to her big girl bed, I was a mess, and it was so exciting, and I was so excited. It's so much fun that she has big girl bed now, but I was like mourning that part of her that was more like a baby. This is such a long answer, but it's kind of like hopefully all connected and all makes sense. I guess we're on the topic of work right now, and so I'll kind of segue into that because some people asked me like about work and how I'm doing work right now and stuff. I guess the first thing I'll say is because my time to work is so much more limited now, I'm trying to be very intentional with what I'm putting out, and I've been really wanting to do short form content, like post on Instagram Reels. Even talking to my management team, a lot of the time they were just trying to encourage me, like, you don't need to do anything extra. It's like what you're already doing, people want to see. And so they were just trying to encourage me to create short form of like stuff that I already love to do. I don't know if this social media talk is going to be interesting. A lot of people probably like don't want to hear about the business side, but I basically came up with like pillars for myself to stick to that just allow me to kind of organize my content a little bit. And for short form mostly, like I can read them out to you. If you see a reel on my feed, you will kind of be able to tell which like bucket they fall into. It's things that mean a lot to me and things that I'm already doing in my day-to-day life. I have 4 pillars, maybe 5. They are intentional relationships, screen-free hobbies, motherhood rhythms, and homebody hosting. And then my number 5 maybe is like singing. I'd love to do more like singing cover stuff on my Instagram, but we'll see when and if that happens. Intentional relationships, I feel like that is like my biggest thing. I really want to encourage people to be really intentional with the people around them and like show little ways that I like to do that. Screen-free hobbies, I'm really excited to start doing because I'm already doing it. I love to read, I love to scrapbook, I love to be off my screen as much as I can. I'd love to encourage people, especially mums. It's very hard, like I get it if you need to be on your phone for stuff. A lot of us like we have to. It's how we connect with family. It's how like we FaceTime. It's how we keep up with people. I'm just very passionate about spending time off our devices and off of social media. So I want to find ways to encourage that. Hopefully going to be much more intentional and organized with my content so I can actually post more, because I think I was just in a rut before of like, I don't know what to post because I'm with my kids every day and I'm not going to show my kids. Thought it would be helpful if I just explain my view on doing sponsorships, because it is a way that I'm able to support my family and I'm so grateful that I can do that. Deciding to go full time with the kids and like not have a nanny and stuff, my time to work is a lot less, so I have to be a little bit more strategic with the time that I am working and make sure that I'm doing it in a smart way. For me, maybe being on the content creator side of it, like I'm just used to everyone doing sponsorships. I'm very grateful because I feel like most of you are you're happy and you're fine with me doing sponsorships. I know a lot of you, I always get really good responses if I like share a good code, and so I'm always excited when I have a good code to share. As well as that, I get feedback from brands that like you guys are loving the codes and like using my links and my codes and stuff. So I know, and I have watched people who have started to like only upload when they have a brand deal. I can just tell that their heart isn't in it anymore. And I think you can tell in the rest of the video, like if it's a short video, and I think you can get the vibe when their heart isn't in it. I just want you to know that if I'm doing a sponsorship, it is something that I already love or something that I think you guys would love, like a code that I think you guys would really like. It's also an incredible opportunity. It's silly if I just never do brand deals because it's such a blessing to be able to support my family and work while also being with the kids. I know most of you don't mind at all. I just feel like I've wanted to talk about it in a way somehow, and I thought a Q&A would probably be the best way to bring it up. What I try to do is one brand deal a month. That is something that is motivating for me to be consistent with my work. It is consistent for like supporting my family again. This month, or this is technically the second of this month, but that was just how the timing ended up. Sometimes the timing is more out of your control. My mum was here, and so I was like, okay, this is amazing. I can try and get more work done. I already had videos and ideas that I wanted to post. So if I feel like a brand will very organically like work into a video that I'm already planning on doing, I feel like I would be silly not to. I love the business side of social media and of YouTube. Sometimes I'll just like listen to podcasts of YouTube strategists, and I don't know, like I love it. I'm really fascinated with it. I love the editing side of it. I think because I am full-time with the kids, I'm naturally uploading less, and so I think it might just like become more obvious when I'm working with a brand. For me, like creators that I like to watch, I would say most of their videos are sponsored, and if I don't like it, I just skip. I just tap forward. I just hope people like know my heart. Like I did a brand deal in this video, but I love doing Q&As, and I wanted to do a Q&A, and I thought this would work so perfectly in my Q&A. Maybe it's helpful to just put out there. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll cut that all out. You know, when you were hanging out with people and then you like leave the hangout, you kind of naturally replay in your mind like stuff that you said, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope that came out okay. I literally have that feeling just about that whole brand conversation. That one, that clip was 30 minutes long. We'll see how much I cut out. I need to get to more questions because that was such a ramble. How did you stop breastfeeding? I'm still breastfeeding with Cuba, but I ended up introducing formula at 10 or 11 months. That went really well. We really needed to do that. My supply was just definitely not keeping up as much this time. He is definitely weaning himself, which is what happened with Kaya too. I have no idea why, but it is interesting that it's happening with both of them. Kaya, after she was 1, kind of just started, weaning, and we ended up only nursing in the morning. That was like the end of it. I think I started to do every second morning. I think like the 3rd day where I would go and nurse again. I think I was just like, she's not asking for it. I don't think she needs it. I knew she didn't need it anymore, and she was such a good eater. Like everything was going really well. I just ended up deciding that day that I wasn't going to do it. I tell my friends I'm grateful it happened that way, because I feel like I would be really emotional if I went into like to nurse her knowing it was the last time. That worked really well for us, and it was very, very natural. I assume that something like that will happen with Cuba too. Any hobby you have that you wish you could turn into your career? I really love singing, and I have all these like songs that I made years ago that are done, but it wasn't fully the vibe that I wanted to put out, and so I would have had to reproduce them, and then I had kids and I kind of just stopped, so I only have 1 song out. I came across them the other day and I listened to them. It made me want to write more songs really bad. I had a dream, we lived a little closer. All that I wanna do is invite you over, meet all my friends you would love. Don't know the next time you're coming. I'm sick of you. Here's my shirt, I'll take your sweater. We'll both have something to remember when there's miles in between, with only just a screen to. I really love party planning and event planning. Just like a fire lights up inside me, and I love it. Even just doing Cuba's birthday party, we did like an F1 race car themed first lap birthday party. It ended up being such a cute day, and we did a bunch of DIYs, and I kept saying to my mom, like, I think if I was to ever get another job, like I think I'd love to do event planning or party planning or something like that. I think it'd be so cool to work in socials for a brand, plan cool brand trips or something like that, where you have to be really creative, mix creativity with hospitality. I think no, a hobby, if F1 counts as a hobby, I always joke with Gabe that I would love to be a social media girl for like McLaren or something like that. If you watch their stories and stuff, like there's obviously a social person following them around, like going to all the races and filming them, like filming their entrance and filming them getting ready for the race, and you know, sometimes like interviewing them. I always tell them I'd love to work for an F1 team. I think one day when my kids are older and I have a lot of spare time, like a lot more spare time, especially if I'm not like doing this as a job in like 10 years or something. I think I'd really like to try writing a book. That was always my favorite in high school, and I love to read. I always like randomly get ideas for novels. I don't think that would happen in like this season of life, but I kind of picture like when my kids are older and I just have spare time, I think that'd be really cool to write a novel. Advice on how to build a community. I feel like I'm struggling because I'm an introvert. We have found such amazing community. All of our like best friend group, we're all parents, we're married, like all the girls love all the girls and all the guys love all the guys. Like we all get along really well. It was such a blessing to find this group of people. I think definitely being married to Gabe helped me because he is extroverted and very outgoing and very charismatic, very friendly, and he can basically become friends with anybody. So that I think helped me a lot. He has helped me kind of bring out more of my extrovertedness. It was really nice to be able to meet people together. I think we've talked about that before, but this moving here together was the first place where we started somewhere together and we got to meet people together. I met people through churches and just talking to people at church. We were new here when Kaya was a baby, so when I was going to church I would go to the Mother's Lounge. I met a few people that way. One of my closest friends I met in the Mother's Lounge. Another one of my closest friends we met at a restaurant here. So we were out as a family eating dinner, and then her family were out eating dinner, and our kids were like waving to each other or like, you know, kind of just like interacting with each other. They came up to us afterwards and basically said that they had been like wanting to be more bold and make more friends, and so we just met, and turns out we love them so much, and now they're just like some of our closest friends. So one of my closest friends, we had like just DM'd on Instagram, I think weeks before. I think she had commented on a photo of mine or something, and then we ended up DMing. And then a few weeks later, she came up to me at church and was like, hey. And I was like, no way, I had no idea you lived here. So I think social media can be amazing for that. I think putting yourself in places where you will meet people, for example, like me in a Mother's Lounge with a bunch of mums that also have babies, like we already have something in common. Obviously, if you're into a sport or something, I think joining like a club or something like that, a hobby group would be a great way to meet people. I know that's scary to put yourself out there, and you're like, especially as an introvert, going to a place by yourself can be so scary when you don't know anyone at all. A lot more people than you think are in the same boat as you, want to make friends and want that connection and community, especially in this world of social media where you hear it a lot that like technically we should be so connected because of our phones and because of social media, but so many of us now are like so disconnected and so lonely. Okay, I'm gonna try to go a little bit quicker because I feel like I'm rambling and maybe I'm cutting half of it out, or this video is getting really long. When did your kids sleep through the night? Advice for 8-month-old, still 3 to 4 weeks. Oh, I totally understand that. Kaya was an amazing sleeper right off the bat. We did not have to sleep train her for nighttime. I had to change a few things for her naps because her naps used to be short. I implemented a few things from taking care of babies from her nap course. It changed pretty much immediately, and then she started napping long. But we never had to do anything for nighttime sleep. She has just always been an amazing night sleeper. Cuba has been very, very different, and I always knew obviously every baby is different, but I think naively I thought, I don't know, like, oh, you have the sound machine, you have the sleep sack, you do this, you do that. It's like, he's gonna get it. It's definitely been more of a roller coaster for the last year with sleeping through the night. He first slept through the night at 5 months old, then would kind of just off and on sleeping through the night. For me, I've only ever looked into taking care of babies. I feel like the stuff that I have implemented from her has been very gentle. I wish I could give more advice, but I just am with you with the roller coaster of sleeping through the night. Whenever I have to go in, I just remind myself, like, I get an extra cuddle right now. One day I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna want one of these nights again when I like get to have an extra cuddle and they're this small. So I know in the moment when you're really sleep deprived and upset and like just wanting to figure it out, it's really hard to have that mindset. I think it helps me a little bit to think about it that way. How's balancing mom life and work life? I feel like I went on such a tangent before about that, but it's definitely still a work in progress, and mom life is my priority for sure. And I basically, just do work in nap times. But the weeks that I have more of a heavy workload, I fall behind in the house. It's hard for me to balance household responsibilities and work because I try to smash out as much as I can. I'm needing to prioritize one over the other, so certain weeks I get more work done and then certain weeks I'm like crushing it in the house. How do you manage using social media consistently for work but not being attached or addicted? I feel like I don't use social media for work consistently. I have a very easy time being off social media. There are so many cool, great things about social media, and like having this job is one of them. I think there's a lot of social media that I do not like, and because of that, I like to be off it a lot. I think it also comes from a place of my number one love language, like number one being up here is quality time. And so I can feel that if like I'm trying to spend time with someone and their phone is on, or they might be like looking at a text or something. I'm definitely struggling with that right now because I'm not on social media. I definitely don't know trends. I think if I was being much more consistent on social media, I would just need to be continuing having boundaries. I have a 1 minute limit on Instagram every day, and I do go on Instagram mostly every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. I think definitely setting like a time limit on the apps. Do you ever regret moving so far away from both families? I don't think we regret it because we feel so settled here and just feel like this was the biggest answered prayer for us. Since we got married, we were praying and trying to figure out like where was home for us. In saying that, I don't like being away from both families. Like whenever we're in Florida, I'm like, oh, like this is so nice to be close to family and having like the cousins all together and playing. So that always comes to my mind. And then whenever I'm in Australia, I just want to stay there. Like I just love being home in Australia. We try to go to Australia once a year, and then my family comes here a few times a year. Gabe's family comes here a few times a year, and then we go to Florida probably once or twice a year. We definitely feel so settled here, and with Gabe's work going into filmmaking and that whole industry, there's a lot happening here and a lot of people that he's meeting, and so this definitely just feels like the right place for us. So probably the thing that I saw the most in these questions was book recommendations. So let me get out my Goodreads and I'll tell you what I've been reading. My reading this year has been slower than last year. My reading goal was 20 books, so I'm 3 books behind schedule. That is not good. I recently enjoyed The Love Haters by Catherine Center. She basically takes this job and project down in Key West in Florida, which was really cool because Gabe and I went on a trip there for our 1-year anniversary. So it was just really cool reading about Key West. She's a video producer and she's going down there to make this like video interview about this guy who is a Coast Guard rescue swimmer, but she can't swim, but she doesn't say that because she really wants the job. She doesn't want to be laid off. I think it took me a little bit to get into, but I loved reading about Key West, and it's by Catherine Center, who I just love her books. So I liked that one recently. I also liked Summer in the City. That is based in New York City. Basically, it follows Elle. She's a screenwriter and she is going to New York City for the summer. I think she is house sitting her sister's place, and then her neighbor is this like mega successful CEO who she had met. Something happened with them like years before. Books that are on my TBR. Funny Story by Emily Henry. The book Boyfriend by Karina Rose. My friend read this and loved it, so I always like to take, like if my friends have a 5-star, I love to at least add it to my TBR. The book that I'm reading right now, I do not remember how I found it. It is called Mean Mums. It has been a very easy read. It reminds me of as if I was reading like The Real Housewives of New York City or something like that. It's basically about these wealthy families and their kids attend this really prestigious private school in New York City. And it kind of just follows each, there might be like 5 mums that it follows, and they all have different storylines and different drama going on. I'm waiting for this kind of like bigger payoff that I think I'm 60% in or so, and it seems like something like thrilling or mysterious is going to happen. If that's the case, I think I will like this book quite a lot and probably rate it quite high. 2 people said, like one after another, when can we expect more of you and Gabe vlogs? I miss you guys even though you post. It's different. Is the Jess and Gabe channel on a break, or did y'all put that channel on the bookshelf? It's so crazy that we have been doing this for so long. Next year will be 10 years of like doing YouTube together. In the beginning, definitely we just shared and shared and shared. Like I feel like we shared so much of our life. To my core, I'm much more of a private person. So over the years, I feel like I have just not intentionally like shared less, but maybe just been a bit more like intentional with what I choose to share. So I'm not like filming every aspect of my life, obviously. With Gabe and I doing the channel together, we were very blessed with our channel that we have, and so we were having so much fun doing that. And even though like the old videos are so cringy, it's so cool that we have all of those to look back on, and we have so many cool like inside jokes and phrases with so many of you that have watched all that time. Gabe has always wanted to become a director and become a filmmaker, and I know he is just wanting to learn and dive deep into this new industry. It just seems like God is opening those doors. I just feel like so many things are starting to happen for him. I really miss making content with him, and I have some like reels ideas that I want to do with him. For example, for now, currently as we speak, he is working on a project and he is making a docu-series. He just does not have any spare time right now to do anything else. I think there's a lot that he would want to do. Like, he wants to make more content for himself and on his Instagram. I know he has a bunch of ideas, but for the channel itself, it's something that we have had to pause for now. It feels like it's been so long, and hopefully we can do more soon at some point, but it kind of feels like Gabe is in this transition period of like starting a new job. And I know he'll always be here and like doing stuff on social media, but I'm very proud of what he's working on and how much he's just trying to jump into this filmmaking world, and the people he's been meeting and the people he's now getting to work with. It's just very cool. I'm super proud of him, and he's working very hard. So I don't know when the Jess and Gabriel channel will come back, or like what content we would do, because it became very evident when we started to have kids. Like, we were doing so much couple content obviously, and then the like natural progression for a channel like that would be to do family content, which we just didn't want to do. I'm definitely not saying that Jess and Gabriel, the channel, is like done forever. For now, he is very focused on filmmaking and getting into that world, and he's doing an incredible job. I also think too, like when we were vlogging, we used to vlog initially at the very beginning, we were vlogging 3 times a week. YouTube was such a different place back then, where there was no like worry about, okay, what's the title, what's the thumbnail, what's the hook, what's the retention, what's the click-through rate. Like, there's so many things now that is just so different about YouTube. Back then when we were doing it, we were just like young, silly kids. Now, 10 years down the line, we're parents, we do different stuff. Like, it just wouldn't, I know it wouldn't be the same if we just like started making vlogs again. Hopefully we can figure it out one day and come back a little bit. What's your favorite thing about yourself as a mother? I think I would say, I know I'm a very intentional mom. That was like, the word intentionality and stuff was like a very huge word for me and Gabe even before we had kids, and so I just always want to be like very present with them and very intentional. My camera died. Even though it's plugged in, I'm sitting here because I needed to plug my camera in because it needed to charge, but I guess it's charging too slow and the battery ended up dying. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It is nearly 11 o'clock, so I definitely want to go to bed, read my book and go to sleep. There were so many more questions. I'm sorry, I feel like I rambled too much, but maybe we can do another girls' night soon. Let me know. Love you guys. I hope you're having a good week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.